guys, hello and welcome to our March advice video. For a second I forgot which month is coming, which is, like we're already in the third month of the new year. So this month I'm trying something new again, because why not? We have 4 piles because I have the elemental, little cards that I made under each of these oracle cards. And how I want to do these readings is I'm gonna pull a few tarot cards to see what the general message is. We have the oracle as the main theme, but I want to pull an advice on the elemental card that we have for each pile, because I kind of feel like I don't want to do, all the elements for all the piles. I want a more focused message about one specific area that you can work on for the next month. So just choose a pile that you're drawn to, or if you feel like you can watch all of them. But I do feel like we don't have to work on everything all the time at the same time. So I think we're gonna get more specific and more needed messages this way. So for the 4 piles, for pile number 1 we have Desert Rose, and you can choose based on the cards if you want to. I'm gonna put the crystal or thing down, so if you want to just base your selection on the cards, just wait until I go through and then you can look at them. For pile number 2 we have Amazonite. For pile number 3 we have Dalmatian jasper. I think this is such a cute and cool a special crystal. And for pile 4 we have a big chunky rose quartz, because we need some love as well, just in general. So if you don't want to base your selection on the crystals, then you can just choose based on the oracle cards. And everything, deck information, how to find me, where to find me, how to support me if you want to, is in the description as per usual. So let's get started. Hello pile number 1, if you chose the Desert Rose or pile number 1, then this is going to be your reading. And your element is water, which means your emotional self, and your main theme for the month is friendship and gratitude. Let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our soul blossom, which I love, with the theme water, emotions. So your month is definitely about, I don't feel like it's about working on some issues. It's more about gratitude, appreciating and extending some love you're receiving from other people. But let's see the tarot. We have the 5 of Swords, yes, and the Hangman. Okay, let's check. Am I still in frame? Should be good. We have a lovely sunny day, so my screen is reflecting, so I do not see a lot of the recording, which is not a problem for you, but sometimes can be a problem for me. But so how I read the 5 of Swords, and that's why I was a bit laughing, is being selfish. And with what I said, it's more about I'm not saying you're selfish, because a general reading, I don't know you, and even if you are, sometimes we have reasons, but it's more about finding extra time and making an extra effort to sacrifice your time. Because if you look at this Hangman particularly, we have a clock here, and I definitely getting that feeling that you can, obviously it's your choice, it's just advice you can take or not, but this month dedicate time and effort to help others, to be at service for others, to show your appreciation and gratefulness, even if usually you're the one who do these gestures. For some reason you're going to benefit, and that sounds really transactional, but I don't feel like, I think you're going to realize how much grace and peace you're getting by being at service for other people, and being there for other people. this month. You know, you're going to expand emotionally if you do that, which is, I think, is great. I love this. I mean, it's just it's such a simple but powerful message. That's how I feel it. And for the water card, we have House 2. I pulled, you know, from an astrological deck as an advice. We have House 2, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. So maybe how you can work with, you know, expanding emotionally is through the physical world. Maybe you're someone who, it could be, you know, two things. You really enjoy spending your energy, time, and money on other people, or you're quite the opposite. But you can get something from being there for them in the physical. And I don't mean like spend all your money on other people and, you know, don't care how they treat you in return. It's definitely about people you care for and you love. So, you know, that they are there in your life for a reason, for a good reason. But it's more about bringing those emotional gestures, so I think, or gifts, down into the physical. And, you know, not what the second thing or the other thing that I'm getting is not try to show your gratitude and appreciation through material things, because your energy, your time is what needs to be shown. You know, spending actual and valuable time with others is more valuable than you think. You might be someone who thinks that buying things for other people is the way to show them that you care for, and that could be your love language. But for some reason this month you should be try a different approach. And your advice, or, you know, just general closing card, is your soul shines. And, you know, just remember that. And for me, this is, and kind of similar to tulip, you know, it has a 5-star shape as well. Your soul shines, you know, not your actions, not your possessions, not your physical material things are the ones shining. It's you and your energy that is shining, and that's what you need to expand this month. Because I really am feeling that you're going to go through some sort of transformation if you do this for a month. You know, if you practice gratitude, if you practice service in a way. Service sometimes has a negative connotation. I think that's the word. You know, that means that we're doing things for others and, you know, we're being used. But this is not about that. This is about expanding yourself in the most glorious and amazing way possible. And, you know, you can work with this beautiful lilac color. If you want to pick a color for this month, we have that here as well, which is also, you know, connected to the divine. It's a divine color. So, and I like desert rose now that I think about it, because it makes me think about a rose. Oh, obviously it's not that, but that grows in the desert. You know, that rose is so beautiful and it's gracious, and it grows even in the harshest conditions. This imaginary rose, obviously. And you can be that. You can be that expanding energy, even if the outside circumstances are trying to, you know, deprive you. So yeah, this is your advice for this month. I think it's a very sweet and short one. I really like this one. Please do let me know if you chose pile number 1, because I'm quite curious. And thank you so much for being here. Please like this video if you liked it. Share it with other people if you find it useful. Comment, subscribe, those all have my channel. And just as usual, thank you so much for being here, for letting me read for you, and see you in the next one. Bye. Hello pile number 2, if you chose this Amazonite, and this is going to be, whoops, your reading. I really like how they match the back, by the way. Let's check your main energy, your focus area. We have fire, which is kind of funny because, you know, Amazonite, water, you know, the river, fire, the opposition. And your main energy that you can work with for the month is destiny. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. William Shakespeare. We love a good Shakespeare quote. Also, you can, work with the flower if you want to. If you work with herbs or flowers, you can look into camellia and check what the messages are regarding this beautiful, beautiful flower. But destiny, and we have the opposites, and it kind of feels like sometimes we're getting pulled into two different directions and we don't know why, and we trying to reconcile something that we think is right for us with something that we feel is right for us. And that could be that opposition, that why destiny is in play, because you might have to work on something that is a foundational part of your destiny. And yeah, I definitely think that we have certain things that we come here to experience, but our choices are our own. So we can go with those gut feelings, or we can choose to ignore them and try to make the best out of what our head or logic thinks it's the best. And it's completely up to you what you do. I'm not here to tell you which one to pick, but I'm just invite you to work on figuring that out in this month that's coming, because you're gonna have either situations or people coming in, maybe events happening that will bring this foundational question up. And it obviously, if you're here, you probably don't want to ignore them, because that can be that can lead to a lot of internal conflict if we're ignoring our needs. But let's see what we have for this square. Square for the fire element. We have square, a challenging situation, a mountain to climb. Yes, what I just tried to say. But it's a mountain. It's not a wall that goes up to the infinite highest realm. It is a challenging situation. It is a mountain, but you can climb it. You have what it takes to figure this situation out. Isn't it like nice how this card is also blue, like all the water is trying to push against the fire, and fire symbol is something that goes either up or forward, depending on how you look at it. So it's definitely forward movement that's coming with these cards. And we have the Seven of Wands, not surprising, and Strength either. Well, again, not surprising. I love when cards are like, the message is clear, you just have to say a few words and we're done. Seven of Wands, it's about being in a position where you have to defend what's important for you, because other people are trying to poke at you. They're gonna come at you, they're gonna challenge you, but try to look at this or look at these situations and look at these people as an opportunity to work on that foundational question that you need to figure out. And it's gonna be different for each and every one of us, because this is just a general reading, and it might require a lot more strength, usually spiritual or mental strength, emotional as well, that you think you have. But this is going to show you that you have what it takes to come over these situations. And sometimes how I read this card, and sometimes it's quite obvious that diplomacy and finding ways to subtly solve situation instead of just using force and trying to push against something is more helpful. So even if you feel like you're being cornered and you need to attack to defend yourself, try not to do that, because all of these things and events are going to happen for you to be able to figure out why are you resisting these comments or these advices. Maybe what is it that you have that pushes against these emotions? And that's the foundational issue you need to figure out. And then you can move forward because you will have a solid base. And how you can work on it, we have magic happens when you most expect it, which is a very interesting quote. Because, you know, usually it's like, oh, it happens when you're not expecting it, but expect help. Expect things to turn out the right way for you this month. And again, I mean, I know that it's not exactly, you know, red and blue, but it's pinkish and bluish, and I'm getting that contrast and, you know, that pushing against, you know, maybe this is your fire, you know, and other people are trying to extinguish it with, you know, water, with their emotional, because, you know, it can be coming from a place of care and place of worry. It doesn't mean that they are trying to sabotage you. It's just that they don't know who you are. You have to figure out who you are. You have to figure out what is it that is the most important thing in your life that you're willing to fight for. And then expect life to, you know, work with you, because when you, once you start working on those dreams that you hold the dearest, the universe is going to be like, oh, this person is, you know, going after their purpose. They are on the right path. We're going to help them. I truly believe that this is how it happens, but we don't see that often because people are really not living their purpose these days. Not a lot of us. I think we're at that stage collectively where we have a lot of things to figure out. So, you know, go and figure it out and then expect things to work out. So yeah, this is your reading if you chose pile number 2, or, you know, Amazon, fire, all the things. Please like, comment down below if you chose it, how it resonates. Subscribe and share this video with others if you think it's helpful. All the information on how to support the channel if you choose to is in the description. The easiest way is, you know, pick up a deck that I created. You can get, you know, a deck and I can get some support. So yeah, thank you so much for being here and see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this Dalmatian jasper, then this is going to be your reading. Let's see. You have air as the element that you can work on or work with. And your main card is Magnolia, nobility and self-esteem. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Yes, our progress needs to be measured against ourselves and not other people, for sure. And maybe because we have air, you tend to overthink things, and that's why you don't need, yeah, that's where you can work with. And we have 2 cards for the why for this one. We have house 1, individuality, self-image and approach to life. And the second one is Venus, give and receive love, found value and see beauty. So what I would say because of this is, A, don't try to find your self-esteem out of yourself. You know, don't get validation out of other people's opinion about you. Don't connect those 2 things, like how you look and what you achieved, to your true worth, because those 2 things are not necessarily connected. And the other thing is, try not to judge other people based on what you see from them, because the first house is all about how we represent, I think, how we represent ourselves to the outer world. But it doesn't mean that, you know, we are just that. So you have to remember that when you look at other people, they are not just what you see on the surface. Even if, you know, they look amazing and they look like someone who has everything that, you know, they have everything together, they know what they want, their life is perfect. You know, I think most of us knows by now that that's never true, but it's hard to remember it in the moment when you meet someone, for example, and they tell you about their amazing job, their amazing relationship, their amazing everything, and you're like, oh damn, I have nothing, you know, I don't have any of those things, and you start, you know, beating yourself up, thinking that you're not as valuable as those people. But A, probably they're not sharing the trouble side of things, and 2, that's not your life, that's not what you need to do. You have your own thing to do, they have their own thing. And those two are not comparable, and you shouldn't compare them. But let's see what the tarot says. Yeah, Three of Swords, heartbreak, loss, fear, and I'm definitely getting that sort of a heartbreak and pain that we're getting when we're comparing to, you know, what we have ourselves to other people, because we feel we're not enough, and that can create a lot of pain. And oh, interestingly, we have the Four of Swords, so it's, you know, not just transition. What's the other word? You know what I mean? It's evolving. That's not the word what I was looking for, but it's escaping me now. But you know, we're going from the 3 to the 4. We're taking that step, and yes, sometimes it's you know, taking a step back, giving yourself a little room to breathe and to realize that, you know, you don't have to figure anything or everything out right now. You're not at that stage yet, and that's okay. And, you know, giving yourself a little grace, a little understanding, compassion. And yeah, oh, I love this color, which kind of, you know, matches the air. Success is in transformation, your message for the month. So yeah, don't concentrate on other people and their progress. Concentrate on what you're, you know, doing with yourself, and take time away from even, you know, the healing work you do. You don't just heal, you have to live your life as well, and see the small transformation, the small success. Notice those as well. Don't just concentrate on the big wins. Like if you don't have a job you like right now, the big win is going to be when you have something that you love. But the small one is realizing that you don't love what you do. And, you know, the next small one is trying to figure out what you want. And, you know, getting those small steps. But those are small victories that for you, for this group, for this month, it needs to be celebrated, because that's how you build up your confidence in yourself. And then, you know, then you can get those transformational energies going, which is amazing. So yeah, this is again a quick and sweet one. Hopefully this is useful and you can, you know, work on this in the next month. Please like this video if you liked it. Comment down below if you chose the pile and tell me how it resonates, which area of your life you think you need these works on, if you want to, obviously. And subscribe, share, those all help my channel. And thank you so much for being here to allow me to read your cards, and see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 4. If you chose this rose quartz, then this is going to be your reading. Let's see. Your element is earth, which is the everyday 3D elements, the physical side, the money, the financial things, and, you know, our physical body. And your main message is Iris. Rainbows and messages. I love that. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. So don't lose hope. Whatever this month is going to be about, the main message is to don't lose hope that things are going to get better. And let's see. We have... Oh! For Earth, we have Earth, which is persistence, patience, and practicality. Yes, how you can tackle the hardship that might be coming. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be the hardest one for everyone. It's going to be on different scales, but there could be some hardship coming in. And how you can tackle it is with practical steps, with remembering that, you know, things will get better. This is just a phase, not phase. This is just a step you need to take on the path you're on. And let's check the tarot cards. Oh, you have the most. You have 3. We have the 6 of Pentacles. Oh, the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. And the 4. Okay, what is this? All the Pentacles. I don't really often see, you know, cards coming out like this, because they are shuffled. So it's quite a progression backwards, which is quite interesting. The Five of Pentacles is usually, you know, feeling lost, feeling isolated and left out in the cold. And it's kind of interesting that we're coming from a very generous place where you're either getting the help you need in the 3D, because these are all, the pentacles are all connected to the earth element. So this is a very practical in the 3D reading. You're coming from, you know, a place where you're able to be gracious with others and accept grace and gratitude, you know, from other people. And for some reason you're losing that feeling, you know, not necessarily losing the actual money. It could be that, you know, there's more money going out this month than coming in. So, you know, practical steps, if you feel like that, check why, check if you can do anything about it to not stop it, because maybe you have to pay, you know, more bills this month than usually. But we're, you know, going back to the Four of Pentacles, which can be read as greed, but I don't feel like this is greed. It's more about being very smart with your money. So maybe you're, you know, starting the month in a more like, oh, I'm gonna buy this, and oh, I can, you know, take you out for dinner for here, and then you feel like you can share because, you know, everything is fine, and then something happens, like I said, maybe a bill is coming in, or you realize that you have to pay something, or something needs to be changed and replaced, something like that. And then you're like, oh, okay, I can't do those lavish things right now, but that's not a problem. I'm not losing faith that, you know, all is doomed, and I'm gonna remember that this is just a one-time thing, or, you know, this is just a thing that happens. Good things are gonna come back, and I'm gonna, you know, tackle these obstacles practically. Check the bill, see how you can pay for it. If you need, ask for help. You know, if you can't cover the expenses on your own, you had those people, so they are still there, that you can, you know, reach out and ask for help. And it doesn't necessarily mean you reach out and ask for help and ask for money. It can be for some, but it also can be for advice, or, you know, just sharing their experience because maybe they went through something similar. Could be something like that, like parents or friends and stuff like that. And you're the only one who has 2 cards for just an advice for the month. And we have the Fall in Love with Your Own Story, which I read it in this context, and I love these colors. As appreciate what's happening, that this is part of your life, and yeah, stay hopeful, stay optimistic, because things are going to go back on the higher level. This is just a detour. And we also have what do you really want? And besides figuring out, you know, the obvious big spiritual meanings, with this one, I feel more like spend your money, energy, and time on things that you actually really want. You know, don't think, for example, if you're a tarot reader, don't think you need to get all the decks in the world. Just pick those few that you actually really connect to and get those. And, you know, this can be translated into anything: books, food, dinner, clothes, anything, you know. Just pick those that you really, really want. Because you would be just spending money on something that you don't really need and you can't necessarily afford in this very moment. But the main thing is, don't lose hope. Think about the rainbows and stars, and just know that things will get back and things will get better again. I don't feel this is a very heavy reading. This is more about, okay, this is happening, but I can do this and this and this, be practical about it. And then, you know, my attitude will help me carry through this time and help me carry back to this Five of Pentacles place. Okay, so this is your reading. Hope this is useful. Please comment down below if you chose this pile, and like, subscribe, share. Those all help my videos. Thank you so much for being here, for letting me read for you, and see you in the next one. Bye!